Slimehouse TV, myself Theo Kane, and welcome to another episode of All Figured Out. And today we're going to be looking at the full set of the brand new Super 7 Universal Monsters series. Let's go! So as always, this episode is sponsored by Floston Paradise. Now, Floston Paradise are a UK-based toy company. They get all the best toys from all over the world, bring them here so that you don't have to pay import charges. And for a lot of the lines, they're the only place to go for them. So we're talking all the exclusive Super 7s, like the ones we're going to be looking at today, the ReAction figures, the Tim Clark Boglins. They just got the new Zolo World figures in, the Keshi Surprise, the Muscle figures, the list goes on. So head over to the website, have a look, see if there's anything you fancy, and if you're going to buy something, let them know that Slimehouse sent you. So getting straight into today's episode, I've not been well. I'm just going to ramble a bit before we look at the toys. I've not been well. I've been in fucking hospital and shit. Like, not going into it too much, but I've been really fucking bad. For 6 days, I've been literally knocked out. Like, I've had to have my eyes blindfolded and just lay in darkness with this mad fucking, like, shit that went on in my head. I don't get migraines or headaches or anything like that. So it, like, really fucking hit me hard. So for 6 days, I've been completely out of it, like, real bad. Like, having to go, for me to go to hospital for anything is so fucking bad because I hate going there. I never want to go. So it was, like, really fucking chronic pain that for the reason I had to go. Anyway, I'm still not feeling 100% today. I've still got a little bit of a fucking whir going on behind my eyes and shit. But for the last 6 days, it's felt like Schwarzenegger's been crushing my fucking soul from the inside. But hopefully I've seen the last of it now, hopefully. And I'm through the worst of it and looking forward to the future. I can feel alright again because I've got a lot of shit to do. But that's the reason why this video didn't come out on Friday. I planned to do it with my friend Razel, who's a Universal Monsters expert, and he can just fire off all the dates and that kind of thing. But hopefully I should give a good video anyway. And also, you'll know there's not a double camera setup today. I just couldn't be fucking faffing about with all the multiple cameras and the editing just for a few episodes while I just get better. Anyway, enough of that bullshit. Let's look at some toys. So I've got a box full here, and I'm just going to pull them out at random. If you've seen the new Universal Monsters figures, they're kind of similar to the ones that we reviewed a few episodes back where we did it at the church in Sheffield, but repainted and repainted in the style of the classic, in the classic monsters. So straight away, let's check one out. Ooh, one of my favourites of all time, the creature from the Black Lagoon. So this is, it will be a repaint, or maybe of the one that, yeah, it will have been a repaint of the ones that we reviewed, the San Diego Comic Con exclusives with the big die-cut card back. We never managed to get a creature or a Metaluna mutant, which were the other two that we didn't get to review, but it will be a repaint of that. But as you can see, this one's more realistic. So it's more in a realistic style painting, and it's got some really, really cool art there from a guy called Ed Repka. Ed Repka is up there with Jason Edmonston. Shouts to Jason Edmonston, who now follows me on Instagram because he watched one of the reviews. Bad boy. Let's try and get Ed Repka to do the same. So yeah, I really love the artwork there by Ed Repka. And it's just a dope figure. Again, it's in the 3.75 style, like all the figures we're going to be looking at today, except for one little surprise at the end. And a lot of the ReAction figures that we review on here are in that 3.75, which is just like the classic kind of Star Wars style, the old Tron figures, the Indiana Jones, the same size as a G.I. Joe. Do you know what I mean? It's a classic 80s, 70s size toy. So these guys are reproducing lines that we didn't get as a kid. We did get a line of Universal Monsters by Remco, but it wasn't these ones. So it's really cool to have these figures now made in the style of Star Wars, ones that we didn't get as a kid. And they're releasing some really obscure ones, even in this set, so we'll get to look at some really cool ones today. So yeah, I'm loving the creature figure. It's very, very cool. I like how it's got like a dry brush effect, but again, the paint job is not too technical. You don't want that with these old retro figures. You don't want someone sat there meticulously painting everything like it's a McFarlane or a NECA figure. You don't want that with these. The whole point of them is that they're going to be authentic. So I'm not going to show you the back, because if I show you the back, we're going to start looking at all the other toys that I'm going to be pulling out today, so it's irrelevant, so I'll show you the back at the end. So yeah, we've got Creature from the Black Lagoon straight away. I'll look at these ones because these are the ones that we pulled out at in the intro. This by far is my favourite, the Metaluna mutant. If you've ever seen this film, it's very fucking cool, and the mutant always looked ropey as shit, but it was fucking awesome, and as a kid I always loved the big brain. Anything with a big brain, insect, mutant hybrid, it's got it all there. And again, is this by Ed Repka? This art, yeah, Ed Repka must have done the entire art for this whole series. So check that bad boy. We always say, well, I always say when we watch these videos, when you watch these videos of me talking shit about toys, I always like express my love for the old painted artwork style, the old style of painted artwork, and this is no exception. They've all got this sick Ed Repka art, and yeah, that's another fucking awesome one. And just check that fucking toy. That's sick. Imagine you had that as a kid. I would never cry for a toy ever again. Well, I would, but not for a while, because that's fucking awesome. That's the kind of figure as a kid I would have never let go. There were set figures I had when I was younger, like there's one from Battlestar Galactica, like a green insect mutant with 4 arms, and at the time I didn't even know what it was. I just know that I fucking loved it. It mixed in with my Star Wars figures, and I never got rid of it. That's why I've still got it to this day. So that would be up there with those ones. And then also, we've got this one. Now, this has got a wicked story behind it. I think it was like 1922 or something. 1922 or something like that, when the original black and white Phantom of the Opera movie came out. And it was black and white and it was silent. There was no audio. There was music, but it just text title cards would come up. So the whole film's in black and white. But then there's a scene in the movie where the Phantom dresses up as this guy. The Mask of Red Death, that's what we call him, the Mask of Red Death. And that scene is in colour. All colour as much as they had colour back in 1922. It's probably not even that date. My head's not good at the minute. Like, don't expect me to remember dates and shit at the minute. But yeah, there's a scene where he enters a ballroom, like a big dance, and he's dressed like this with a big plume in his hat and the 6 staff, and he's mincing about. It's fucking freaky. But it's weird how it's the only scene in the whole film that's in colour. And it's just a prime example of why these guys, ReAction and Super 7, are bringing out these mad obscure characters that you'd have never got as a kid. If it was a Star Wars figure, you would, because they practically released a figure of every fucking droid and mad alien bounty hunter in the background of any scene ever, pretty much. Not everyone, but the majority were. You wouldn't get that for an old Phantom of the Opera movie. We didn't even have a Phantom of the Opera toy as a kid. I said I was born in '88, so the old Remco 3.75 figures and stuff came out way before I was born, but most of my toys were from car boots growing up because my dad was a dealer, so I was at the car boot every single week, and that's where I got most of my toys. So even me doing that, I wouldn't have got this one. So it's wicked that you can release that figure, and oh, look at it, it's awesome. Anything with a skull for a face is just me all day. A skull, a mutant insect anthropomorphic bugman, or a robot like a cyborg. I've told you before about me wanting to be a cyborg when I was growing up. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be a cyborg. What do you want to be when you're older? A plumber, a fucking... No one says a plumber. A firefighter, a soldier. What do you want to be? A fucking cyborg. I was fucked from day. So yeah, that's a really cool figure. And anything with a skull face is just an instant winner. Am I right or am I right? Toy collectors. This one, boom, the Mummy, the classic Boris Karloff Mummy, again by Ed Repka. He killed this set, didn't it? Hold tight, Ed Repka. He killed this set. So yeah, we've got the Mummy, which is an exact replica. It's an exact pull from the mold as the San Diego Comic-Con bodega stall exclusives that we reviewed a few episodes back. But that's cool. I love colour variants, and it's very different. It's completely different. The card art's completely different. Look at Boris there, looking fucking awesome. Boris Karloff was so cool, man. Like, he spent all his life wanting to be an actor, getting knocked back and only getting little shit roles and stuff, or getting roles that he was never remembered for. And then all of a sudden, one day, he gets cast, when he's like 45, 50 or something, he gets cast as Frankenstein, and he's now become like an icon of horror. His face is like, if you put like a Mount Rushmore of horror, his face is there, without a fucking shadow of a bastard doubt. My man is there. So that's a really cool fucking likeness, just talking about the artwork there by Ed Repka. And then, yeah, the figure, again, as it's a repaint of the one that we looked at before, but don't take nothing away from it. Again, it's slightly... Do you know what this reminds me of? There's an old Ghostbusters figure, a mummy from the real Ghostbusters, and it just reminds me of that, and that's why I love it. Those type of colours, check it. Because all these films was black and white, so we're just guessing the suggested colours here. So there's nothing to say that was that fucking... that like minty green in real life when they painted him in the movie. Although it does look a lot like the zombies from A Night of the Living Dead when they re-released it in colour. They all look like that. And on the front cover, myself and my friend Chris, we always said that it looked really punk when you were little, and there's this like mad, bright, minty coloured haired zombie with yeah, minty head zombie with proper blonde hair coming out the top. So yeah, fucking awesome. That reminds me of so many things, and it's a mummy, and it's Boris Karloff, and it's fucking bad boy. So that's number 4 in the set. Who else have we got? There's quite a few in this set. Oh, there's 2 more, but yeah, it's a fucking good set, a good series of figures. We've got, yo, this is bad boy, the Mole People. Like this video and comment if you've seen the Mole People. So it's one of those old films, black and white films, where they'd throw something on the cover that was in the film. Don't get me wrong, the Mole People were in the film, but that's not what the film was about. It's kind of like calling the Time Machine the Morlocks, because it's not about the Morlocks. They're in it, they're featured a lot, but it's not about them. So these are some people that, oh man, this is like such a long conversation, but there's a theory called Ogartha, and Respect BA told me all about this, where there's certain people that believe there's a part of the earth that you can get inside, the hollow earth theory, that inside the earth is another space that we don't know about, that we don't interact with. And oh man, there's a dude, I think he's called Joseph Olaf. He said he flew into it in a biplane, and he saw mammoths and shit like that, and he flew inside the he didn't get all the way in, but he flew in a little bit, and he saw mammoths. This was like probably around 1922 or some shit like that. So yeah, really fucking interesting. So whether you believe it or not, it's just really cool to draw inspiration from for storytelling, and that's why we've got Journey to the Center of the Earth, and we've got all those movies like what's the one where they go on At the Earth's Core, fucking bad boy. And anyway, I'm getting really off track, but there was just like a little influx of movies about people climbing into the center of the earth. So there's these humans that go to search for Agartha, and they get trapped by all these mad albino people, and the albinos use the Mole People as their like enforcers, their slaves, and they look awesome in the film. They've got these horrible mouths, like these horrible dripping mouths like that. So just to have a figure of one of them anyway is fucking bad boy. Again, we've got that sick Repcar. Look at those eyes looking at you. And then yeah, you've got one of the Mole People. So it's a mole person, a mole man, or a mole woman. Are they asexual? I'm not sure, but they're fucking crazy and they're weird. They got big hands like moles, but the face don't look like a mole at all. No, it looks like something we won't talk about. So yeah, he's one of the Mole People, and he's fucking awesome. Again, he's got like a paint job that's ever so slightly realistic. When I do model painting to get this effect, you'll paint it with like a base colour, and then you might dry brush it with a lighter colour, and then you'll put an ink over it, but like a watered down ink that kind of seeps into all the recesses and the crevices and gives you like a nice realistic effect. So yeah, boom, the Mole People. So the last one, who we got? Oh, the daddy. Well, one of the main ones. We've got my guy, the Wolfman, the Lon Chaney Wolfman as well. Look at the likeness on that. It's like they took a photo. It's like a punked out photo version of the Wolfman. A lot like the old Aurora model kits. So yeah, we've got the fucking Wolfman right there. And who doesn't like the Wolfman? The Lon Chaney Wolfman is one of the most iconic images in cinema. Just like my man Boris Karloff. So yeah, that's the last one we've got there. So altogether in the series there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we went through them all. So just starting again from the top before I show you the surprise, the little surprise view. So we've got the Wolfman, we got the Mole Person, because it's an asexual, we don't assume it's gender anymore. We've got the Mummy right there, Boris Karloff's Mummy. Put these down so I don't drop everything. Rounding it off with my guy. What I said that Metaluna Mutant is my favourite, but I think this has got to be my favourite. These are all going on the wall. I can't wait to put these up. I just didn't put them up yet because I didn't want to have to take them all down again to do this video. We've got the Metaluna Mutant, again, my other one of my favourites. And then another one of my favourites, the creature from the Black Lagoon. So you'll notice with me, my favourite ones are always the ones that don't look like a human. They always look like something fucked up, a skeleton or a mutant or a monster or a mole, if that's what moles look like in the time that they made that movie. So yeah, very, very fucking good recommended series. High quality, sick artwork, retro style, all the shit that you want from a fucking 3.57 action figure. And obviously, who's going to make it? Bad Boys ReAction. So this is what I'm going to show you last. These came out at the same time. I managed to get one sent. They're random as fuck, and they didn't come out till after Halloween, so we're going to have to save them to next year before anyone's going to use them. I'm not going to use them because I don't do trick-or-treating, but I am going to use it for something. So it is... boom! Brand new candy buckets from Super 7. How fucking cool is that? I love candy buckets. I proper love retro candy buckets. Shouts to my boy Chance Priest in Texas. He's got the most insane candy bucket collection I've ever seen. But this is fucking cool. It's Frankenstein, who just talked about how cool Boris Karloff is. And it's been sat on my side for a week because I got this box of figures sent last week, but because I've been so ill, I didn't manage to get the video done. So it's finally going to get open now. So it just comes in a normal bag. Warning, to avoid danger of suffocation, keep away from babies and children. No problem about that in my house, because there are no babies and children here. So let's rip it out of its bag. We're ripping it on camera, and there we have it. Got that new toy smell, the best smell in the world. What's it say here? Super bucket. So it's called a super bucket, that's what it's called. So they did this and they did Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm gonna have to get a Creature one now, because these two will just look sick on like 2 stands like that. And yeah, what we got inside, Super 7. I'll keep that on because I'm like that for keeping tags in. So it's really fucking cool, and we'll see how functional it is. Woo! I fill it with candy, with Halloween chocolate that the little kids didn't have when they knocked on the door. That's the only time I look. If my godkids come round, but they'll come with the parents supervised, or when a kid knocks on the door for trick or treating. But we didn't get many this year. I think as the years go on, less and less kids trick or treat. I remember as a youth, we was all out. The whole estate was fucking crazy. People chucking eggs, people knocking on doors, shooting off fireworks and shit. And yeah, and obviously collecting chocolate and candy and saying trick or treat. And that was like a good time. And it's a shame that that's like slightly dying off. Maybe just in my estate. It's dying off in the ends. But like there used to be huge Halloween parties in the city and stuff that we don't have anymore. And I suppose if they did bring them back, they'd just start charging everyone and they'd move out of the city and it'd just become just like a corporate thing. So yeah, let's keep Halloween alive, and we can keep doing it by buying stuff like this super bucket. So yeah, man, that's full of chocolate. Because I'm not well, I'm going to spend the rest of the day playing Red Dead Redemption and eating this chocolate. So shouts to Flossed Paradise for the bucket, for my new chocolate holder. Shouts to Flossed Paradise on all the Universal Monsters bad boys, and just shouts to them in general, because they're such a fucking sick company. Like I said, so many of these toys, there's nowhere else in the UK you can get a Zolo World figure, but you can get it from Flossed Paradise right now. They've just got them in. I'm Theo Kane, this is all figured out. Shouts to Flossed Paradise, and we'll catch you with the next video, but for now, I'm gone. Boom. As always, thank you so much for checking out the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We're also on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And on top of all that, we recently set up a Patreon, so please check that out and find out how you can help us make Slimehouse bigger and better than ever. Don't forget to check out all the other cool stuff on our channel, and we'll catch you next time on Slimehouse TV.